At some point, people started calling me a wizard. And I think they mean it. Once you own that, once you're able to be like, "Yeah, whatever, I'm a wizard," people stop questioning it. You can just do whatever you want. People are like, "Well, that's on brand." I'm Tyler Thrasher. Describing myself is always a bit of a challenge. I've kind of summed it up. Equal parts artist, equal parts citizen scientist. I think everything else I do kind of falls under that umbrella. You'll notice that I have an affinity for weird creatures. Things that I think traditionally are found to be repulsive or disgusting, that I think are incredibly fascinating. The process of crystallizing something is kind of similar to growing rock candy. You take a compound molecule and you dissolve it. So you separate it into its ions and you make a solution. So you have this like hot water, this sort of soup. You are just kind of making the environment for this, darn near perfect pattern to form. I take things like dead insects or skeletons and I just submerge them. And then as the water evaporates or the vessel cools, these ions come back together and they form that molecule. From there, it forms this network. That's what a crystal is, it's a pattern. They'll form on anything, it doesn't matter. I just happen to have a thing in between all of that in that system, and then they just grow from there. Nothing dies from my work. I take insects or specimens that died of natural causes and I crystallize them. I don't know where to say where I got started, but I guess I can condense it down really quick. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. So, went to college in Missouri, started caving to fill up my free time, fell in love with caves, fell in love with nature. I was going to school for computer animation, and I realized, right before I was about to graduate, I don't want to do this. So I just filled my weekends with extracurricular, creative projects. Growing crystals was one of those. Found a dead bug in the backyard, grew crystals on the dead bug, shared it online, it went viral, and then I made a bunch of crystallized dead bugs, traveled around the country with those bugs, and then that helped fund all the other things I do. This is Moonbeam Conservatory. In our shop, we have a little over 13,000 glowing flowers. So we work with different florists and farmers to get our flora that is dried and preserved, and then we make it glow in the dark. Almost any color combo you can think of, we have. When we started making Moonbeam Flora, I had no intentions of making the world's first glowing flower shop or anything like that. I just made this glowing flower, and I was like, this is cool, I want to share it. People kept buying them. This space became available, and I don't think we knew what this was going to be. It was just, we're kind of like, hey, we're going to try to make this work. I like to tell people that the Moonbeam Conservatory has 3 phases. We get a lot of people in here that just they just think it's like a flower shop. Come on in. You guys been in before?
No.
Are you familiar with the stuff in here?
No.
Okay, so you're just in time for some pretty cool stuff. There's the daylight phase where you can see all the colors and the natural textures of the dried flowers. And then the second phase is what I call the blacklight phase.
That's amazing.
We have these UV floodlights, these blacklight floodlights installed, so we can charge up all the flowers, and then I usually let the flowers soak up that energy for a couple of minutes. A lot of the flowers are fluorescent, which means that they are actively glowing and visually vibrating under the black light. So I will flip off all the black lights and show the third phase of the store in 3, 2, 1.
Nuh-uh. These going on. So how much for everything? Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's also really cool is all these little glowing balls on the ceiling. Those are flower heads, so it's these. I grew up very isolated. I also grew up very bullied. I really didn't have anywhere to fit in. And now the people that come in the shop, it's I made a space for people that I think kind of exist on the fringe a little bit. I have 3 assistants. I have 2 that make the flowers.
Working here, you never really know what your day is going to look like. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of that chaos. There's so many colors. We can virtually make anything, so we've made some pigments that I don't think exist anywhere else.
Chunky. I couldn't have dreamed this job up, but it is definitely a dream job. We have to like create contraptions to get the ideal finish on the flower, like our spinning bucket.
We made this like sort of cardboard like arena, sort of Thunderdome prison thing, and we put a potter's wheel in the middle with a 5-gallon bucket screwed to it. We can spin all the flowers and kind of choose the spin rate as all the extra paint flings onto the cardboard. It's definitely a collaborative effort. We all contributed in a way, and so it's really fun to look and go, oh, you know, one person did this, one person did that. What if you were in a field of that and you weren't moving, but you heard it rustling really fast at you? Would you just take off running in a random direction?
If you're tall enough, maybe you can see. We are so silly and goofy. There's such an atmosphere of like friendship. It's so fun to get to brainstorm all our crazy ideas.
These actually look great. So I've written a couple of books, and the last book I wrote, I co-authored with my friend Terry Mudge, and it's called The Universe in 100 Colors. And we spent a couple of years researching very specific, very niche colors, you know, like Baltic amber, cosmic latte, which is the average color of the observable universe. Just all kinds of really fascinating colors, 100 of them.
We did rough drafts on every chapter, and our editor said they were terrible. You know, we weren't writers at the time. My name is Terry Mudge. I am the founder and scientific director at Stem Cell Science Shop. It was sort of a store I always wanted to walk into myself. Our job is to tell the story of everything from a scientific angle. This is a particle accelerator from the University of Wisconsin. It was originally called Aladdin, and it would create a very intense magnetic field in the middle, which would guide electrons at extremely high speeds. So this is a film from NASA. It's from the 60s. And it's actually from the clean room when they were building a satellite. And so we have the original copy of that film. Tulsa really is a place where a lot of unpredictable things can happen. It's just the right size and has just the right spirit. There's this just really integrated web of people who are just making stuff happen. I first met Tyler in about 2012-ish. And we've been kind of friends ever since. So we spent 2 or 3 years writing the book. We originally started with this massive list of colors, and eventually we had to whittle that down. We went through maybe 5 or 6 rounds of editing, polished them up really nice, turned it into a book. We have very different writing styles, but I think they complement each other nicely throughout the book. I think it's really rewarding in that I feel like I'm part of the process of encouraging more people to get interested in science and how things work around them.
We do a lot of events at Moonbeam Conservatory. I didn't know this concept of a third space. People call it that. People come in and treat it like that. You know, first space is your home, second space is your work, and third space is somewhere that's detached from both of those. Somewhere that contributes to your life, somewhere that fills you up, that isn't home or work.
Yeah, right?
Tulsa has a really tight-knit community. There really is no competition. We all support each other, help one another. Tyler's got his art studio and said, hey, let's do concerts here and see if people show up. Each one has pretty much been sold out.
How y'all feeling? Right, you ready?
You know, this isn't a community event. Music and art pulling people together. I'm just happy to be a part of this community.
It's kind of daunting. When you want something or you have an idea, there's this fear. What if people hate it? What if it does not match my expectations? What I've learned over and over again is I hope it doesn't meet my expectations. More often than not, I like what it became more than I originally thought it would be. Because you don't know. You don't know anything. You learn along the way. To me, that's the fun part, is like A to B, everything in between's the good stuff. I get so many people that come through here that are like, I'm glad someone that looks like me is doing this and they're doing it well. And for me, that gave me a sense of purpose. We needed more science representation. We needed more BIPOC artist representation in Oklahoma. These are the things that fascinate me, and people come in and they share that sentiment, and I don't take that for granted.
Moonbeam Conservatory has 3 phases. The second phase is the black light phase.
It feels like I've been trusted with this narrative, this experience, this resource, and it just, I don't know, it's just kind of humbling. It's, and it just feels really good.
This is something like I've never experienced before.
It's almost like you're transported into a different dimension.
It was a long journey and probably cut a couple of years off of my life, just the stress. But I am very proud of what we've made, and the whole journey to getting here, entirely worth it. And it's crazy to think we just got started.